Hey, I want to thank you for joining us here on Polk Place. And to my recollection, we were just talking, I don't think I've ever interviewed him, but he has been in the studio with us before on Polk Place, talking a little bit about Citrus Connection. And but it is my privilege to introduce you to Tom Phillips. He's the director of Citrus Connection. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me today. This is quite the studio. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, hey, remember back in the day when it was, I don't know, we think we had that painted thing. It was
I mean,
crazy.
you still have the brick comedian wall. I like it. It's
no,
got
no,
that,
we just, this is a different wall.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Before we had the stone one. This is a brick comedian.
No, it is. It's like we're at the Ha-Ha.
Honestly, it's like every comedy club you've ever been to.
Right.
How have I never seen that before?
I don't know. You're a comedian.
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't think that. But, you know, what, 2011, you
Yep.
came into this community, and I love the story you tell. You took a chance on Polk County, and Polk County took a chance on you. And it has been a hell of a ride.
Yeah.
Honestly, man. I mean, you have put public transportation at the forefront in Polk County. Talk to me a little bit about how you got here.
Sure. So I've been here since August of 2011, and I worked at a variety of different public transportation companies. But my last stop before finding my home here in Polk County was at Pace Suburban Bus in Chicago. So most people are really familiar with the CTA, right?
Mm-hmm.
The lines, the buses in the city of Chicago. Pace, it was the transit agency that was responsible for the 7 counties around Cook County. So effectively what our busing did was take people to the Metra train stations so that they could get downtown to work. We did some things in the cities, restaurants, those types of things, but mostly it was let's get people to the trains so they can get into the cities and do the rat race type thing. Citrus Connection had experienced some difficult times. The agency was almost shut down by the Florida Department of Transportation. It was declared that it was unsafe. The maintenance wasn't happening as it should have. And so they did a nationwide search for a new executive director. I was a 34-year-old mid-level cog in the machine of a large transit agency. I was lucky to make the finalist cut and walked in and they took a risk on a 34-year-old mid-level manager, and I took a risk on an agency that really had nowhere to go but up.
Yeah.
And after 13 years, we built a really, really exciting team. We've got a fantastic partnership with the Polk County Board of County Commissioners. We now run all of the transit in the county. We've done that since 2015.
Let's talk about that transition.
Yeah.
2015, what happened?
Sure. So in 2015, let's go back a little bit. In 2014, we had the My Ride, My Roads referendum, a 1 cent sales surtax where half a cent was going to go towards roads and transit. I'm sorry, half a cent was going to go towards roads and half a cent was going to go towards transit. That referendum failed, and it failed pretty big, 70-30.
Yeah.
But we had a plan B because we knew that your viewers, the taxpayers of Polk County, wanted us to have a plan B. What are you going to do if you don't get more money? And the answer was, and Melanie Bell, the supervisor of elections, was the chairperson at the time. We went to the county commission and we said, do you want to keep doing Winter Haven area transit yourself with your 88 county employees, your pension liability, your risk management, your grants management? Do you want to subcontract it out? Mr. Freeman was the county manager at the time. By subcontracting it out, it's going to be cheaper, but your 88 employees, the county employees, are going to lose their pensions. Or the Lakeland Area Mass Transit District can do the countywide service. We'll do it for the same amount of money or less, and we'll join the Florida retirement system, which was something that we should have done a long time ago.
Yeah.
So it did right by the 100+ employees of the Citrus Connection, and then we were able to protect the 88 pensions, FRS pensions of the county employees. So Melanie Bell and the board voted, and we became the countywide provider of transit. So since 2015, we do all of it, and everything that we do for the county, we do under contract, and there's a complete separate audit that's done to make sure that the county dollars stay in the county and the Lakeland dollars stay in Lakeland. So it's worked out really, really well. As a matter of fact, just about a month ago, we returned to the Polk County Board of County Commissioners $877,422, not that anybody's counting. Because we came in under budget. We had gotten some COVID stimulus funds, and we recognized, hey, let's use those federal dollars rather than the local dollars that you give us. So we used those federal dollars to match grants, and we were able to give the Polk County taxpayers back that money through your Polk County Board of County Commissioners. So the promise that we made years ago, which was we'll do it as cheaply as possible, we continue to do that every single day.
Taking over a failing system and turning it into something that has become one of the best places to work within the county. It's being great stewards of the taxpayers' money, giving back money, and cutting edge programs like Lakeland and Bartow. I love the squeeze program.
Squeeze, yep.
Yeah, wow.
Absolutely.
Incredible. The people that you have working there, top notch, man.
Thank you.
Outgoing, and they understand what's going on in the community, and that, yeah.
Yeah, they're really great people. So we have 3 squeezes. We have, and they're the first and only public transit golf carts in the country. There's golf carts all over. Your viewers have seen them all over the place, but they're not federally funded. These are federally and locally funded. We have them in Bartow, we have them in Lakeland, and we have them in Lake Wales. And what the squeeze is it's a hop-on, hop-off golf cart service. Mm-hmm. And the drivers are dressed different than the regular bus drivers, mm-hmm. right? We had them dressed like caddies mm-hmm. on a golf course. They look like that for a reason. Hey, do you want to ride? I know you run on your
yep.
lunch hour.
Yep.
So they're asking you, hey, are you okay if it's hot outside?
Exactly.
And those kinds of things. So there's constantly that care in the community. So the majority of what we do, 96% of our budget, is still focused on getting people to and from work. 7 out of every 10 rides on the Citrus Connection is to get somebody in Polk County to and from work. Mm-hmm. That's the backbone of our service. But through providing things like the Squeeze and the Tiger Town Express, which we now take people from park and ride facilities in Lakeland and we take them to the Tigers games during the season so mm-hmm. they can save on parking, and Lakeland Hills is under construction. We're starting to show how can we be relevant in your life, recognizing that since you own a car, you're probably going to drive because we're not as convenient as mm-hmm. we could. We're not as convenient. We're not convenient enough to get you out of your car and to use transit. It's mm-hmm. still more convenient for you to do that because we're not in New York, Chicago, or LA.
Yeah.
But will you ride the Squeeze? Will you ride the Tiger Town Express and not worry about $14 in parking or the construction on Lakeland Hills? So we're trying to work both ends of the spectrum.
Also, speaking of that caring, compassion, and always looking out, whether it's for the riders, something that the folks may or may not realize, during times of hurricanes here within Polk County, we have special needs facilities, and you guys provide the transportation. Let's talk a little bit about that. And there's some pretty cool stories back in the day what people are trying to take with them.
Yeah, so like the last thing anybody wants to talk about is hurricanes,
yeah.
right? But they're a reality. We're going to have a pretty active season again, it looks like. So what happens is when the governor declares a state of emergency in Polk County, the Polk County Board of County Commissioners, and I'm not a county commission employee, but effectively an emergency operations center opens up and takes care of all things that are going to be hurricane. Public safety, sheriff's office, tax collector, supervisor of elections, everyone gets together in this bunker type facility that can withstand a Cat 5 hurricane and transits there. Our job as Citrus Connection is there's a special needs shelter in Lakeland. This year, for your viewers, it is not McKeel. It's not.
That's been changed.
It's Tenorock.
Yep.
So the Tenorock, there's the old Bartow Hospital, and then there's Ridge on the east side of the
mm-hmm.
county. If you are a person who can't live without electricity because you have COPD, you have medications that need to be refrigerated, you have oxygen that's not in tanks, it's one of the ones that uses
yep.
electricity,
yep.
you just can't live without electricity. You can register through the Polk County Board of County Commissioners for special needs shelters. These are shelters that have power and that feed people, and there is one that is pet friendly. For a lot of those folks, driving is not an option.
Exactly.
So that comes with a free transportation option. So what happens is the county has what's called a call down list, and they call and they say, Brian, you're on the special needs list. The hurricane looks like it's going to hit Polk County. Would you like to go to the special needs shelter? We hope that you say yes, because we want to keep you out of harm's way.
And talk about the importance of saying yes at the right time, because not only are you worried about the safety of the residents, but you have the responsibility of your employees too.
Right. So for the people who are watching, one of the most frustrating parts about special needs shelter transportation is that we're going to move you in when it looks okay outside, because we need a day or so to load up these, because again, we're only doing 2 or 3 people at most per bus. So imagine we're moving in hundreds of people, but we can only do it 2 or 3 at a time. So when that call comes in, that may be, you may look out the window and say, oh, it's bright and sunny, and it's not, the weatherman says it's not going to be here for 3 days. Well, it can speed up. And so this is your chance to go, because if you call us when it gets dark and stormy and spicy, and now you're scared because the trees are starting to move, when the sustained winds get above 35 miles per hour, just like the sheriff's office, we're off the road. And so you may say, I don't want to go, but then 2 days later you call the county and you say, I want to go now. If we don't have the resources because we're transporting other people who've already said yes, we want to get everybody to a special needs shelter, but there comes a time when we can't help.
Exactly.
So take that call, go in. It is the volunteers at the school board, the volunteers at the county, the volunteers in transportation, we will take good care of you. Is it the Ritz-Carlton? No. Do you get 3 hots and a cot? You absolutely do. Do you get skilled nursing care? You absolutely do. Is that skilled nursing care one-on-one? No, it is not. Can you charge your cell phone? You can. It is better to be safe than sorry.
Exactly.
We take everyone in the home. So that's a big question we get. Is it just Muriel, the 80-year-old person who registered? No, it's Muriel, her husband, and they have a special needs son, or a son that's living at home because he just got laid off.
Yeah.
If the son can't separate from them, you're all coming to the special needs shelter.
Yep.
You don't need to bring suitcases and suitcases of food. We see that a lot. You don't need to bring. We had one woman one year that had a full post-World War II cuckoo clock that her deceased husband had brought home. This thing must have been 8 feet tall. And she said, I will not leave the home if the cuckoo clock can't come with me.
And I'm going to venture to say the cuckoo clock did not go.
Oh, we dragged it on the bus.
What?
I mean, we were so nervous for her. We dragged it on the bus. We told her we might break it, and we ended up breaking it. I felt terrible.
Never heard this
story?
story?
So we're dragging the cuckoo clock onto the bus because she wouldn't get on. And this was like a Cat 4 or Cat 5 event that was coming to Polk County.
And that's just another testament to your customer service commitment.
In this case, we knew she was not going to go.
Yeah.
The trailer wasn't in the greatest condition.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not moving people out of.
Yeah.
We will move people out of Scott Lake if they need it, but typically we're moving them out of low-income mobile home communities that are prone to flooding. This last event is a great example, Brian. Right? There wasn't really, really, really strong winds, but there was a ton of low-lying flooding, and it stayed for days, and in some cases,
Paul and I were
weeks,
just talking about that.
And so, get out.
We had flooding in areas that hadn't flooded in over 100 years.
And then we will get you there. We get you registered. We get you settled. We get you with your stuff, and then we go out and we keep doing that till it gets to 35-mile-per-hour sustained winds, and then we send everybody home and batten down the hatches. As soon as we get the all clear, we report back to the shelters. The drivers check all the roads, and we do all that. Now, this is the really cool part. Prior to us taking over the services, Sheriff Judd would send his deputies out to check on these seniors and these elderly people's homes, because we can't take them home if they're energy dependent, if they don't have electricity.
Yeah.
You go to a regular shelter. You're at George Jenkins. They open the doors when the hurricane's up, and they
everybody
go,
goes,
bye-bye.
See you later.
See you later, right? For us, it's, no, we need to make sure you have power and that we can get you back into your home, that there's no hole in the ceiling, whatever it is. And so that was being done by the sheriff's deputies. That's not really public safety, right? He was doing it because no one else was. So when we took over the services, we said, Sheriff Judd, you keep your deputies focused on being at intersection, doing what you need to do. We didn't tell him anything.
Yeah.
Have your resources. You don't tell Grady to do anything. Want to make sure I'm very clear we don't tell Grady Judd to do anything ever. We do what he says. But we gave him.
This is why you were one of my favorite interviews of all
I know,
time.
right? Jeez.
I know. Ain't nobody telling Grady anything.
So it freed up his deputies to do the things like be at intersections where there's no power, deal with other issues, right? Look at this last event. I don't think anybody expected that AT&T was going to go out. Mm-hmm. So you had people without power and without cell phone service. There was a lot more public panic with those two components than sometimes with 4 or 5 days without power. Because the inability to talk to people coupled with no power, that brought the stress level up. So our drivers now do that. We go out, we check on the homes, we make sure that they're there, and then we take people back. So we've created relationships with some of these customers, fortunately and unfortunately, where it's like, all right, here we go again. We got you, and they know it. And so typically what happens is, so if you look at, let's talk about an average stay, right? So an average stay for someone who's able-bodied who drives to a regular shelter, they may leave a couple hours before the event hits, ride the event out, and leave as soon as it's all clear. So let's say 6, 8 hours, 12 hours, depending on it. A special needs individual, you're probably looking minimally at 2 to 3 days. Yeah. Sometimes
at the minimum.
Sometimes 5 days.
Yep.
But again, we're picking you up. We're bringing your stuff in. We're getting you settled. They're feeding you. They're providing skilled nursing care. We're checking on your home. We're making sure it has power. We're making sure it's habitable, and then we're taking you home. So when you get home, you're safe, and you know it. And if you're not, if your home has been damaged, we're going to get you that ride to the Red Cross, and they're going to take care of you. So it is absolutely something that I say to everybody. Registering is free.
Yep.
You can always say no, but you shouldn't.
Should at least register.
Register. Absolutely. If you are not registered, you cannot just drive to a special needs shelter and say, I changed my mind. Yeah. There are some pastors from the faith-based community. Every year we see folks who come in and I'm dropping off a couple of members of my flock because they weren't registered. Again, you got to get registered so that we know what's going on health-wise and those other things. So get registered. It's free. You can always say no, but most of the time you shouldn't. Mm-hmm. Better safe than sorry. There's no cost associated with it. Your prescriptions are going to be safe and refrigerated. You're going to get fed. You're going to get taken care of.
And
we're going to get you back home safe.
And you have the electricity.
And you have the electricity, absolutely. And so it's the hardest work we do, and it's the most rewarding.
We got about 30 seconds left. Reiterate the most important part of making wise choices when that call comes.
Yes. So
even if it doesn't look like it.
Right. So again, that call is going to come in 2 to 3 days, sometimes 2 to 3 days before it looks like it's bad out. The weathermen and women on the TV may be telling you it's not that bad yet, or there's a cone of uncertainty. But if the Emergency Operations Center of Polk County is calling you, it's bad enough that you want to say yes.
Well, Tom, I want to thank you for coming in, and anytime you want to talk about anything that you guys do, listen, you're doing a fantastic job. Love having you in, and you are still one of my favorite interviews ever.
I appreciate you guys. This is great. Thank you so much, and thank you to the Polk County Board of County Commissioners for the vote of confidence and being able to provide transit to the community, and you, the taxpayers, for funding public transit.
As hurricanes move toward the Polk County area, Citrus Connection provides hurricane evacuation transportation to public shelters. They provide connections from their downtown Lakeland terminal and the Winter Haven Transit Terminal to public hurricane shelters. If you need more information, go to ridecitrus.com or give them a call at 863-688-7433. If you enjoyed that episode of Polk Place, I invite you to like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and even check out the next one.